Howdy, fabulous people. Whoa, look at me. I'm kind of way over there. All right, let's drag you up. Awesome. Let me know in the chat. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Good. Anyone remember that guy? The Verizon guy? Even you youngsters might remember, because if you're like me when you're young, you probably watched all the commercials. Anyway, I used to work for Radio Shack, and during my college years, feels like centuries ago, and we had to sell cell phones, and Verizon was one of the companies that we sold. And there was that annoying guy on TV, right? If you know, you know. You'd see him walking literally through the most rural places, right? And every 5 seconds, he'd be like, "Can you hear me now? Good." You remember him? Yeah, people used to tell me all the time, "You look like just like the Verizon guy." I'm like, I don't know if that's a compliment, or should Verizon be paying me more, right? Or maybe I just have a natural talent for finding a reception. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, who's excited for the session today? Let us know in the chat where you're watching from, because this really doesn't work without your engagement. What are you looking forward to the most? Was that Verizon joke hilarious or not? I need to know these things. But we got a super fun live session today, and first things first, let's get to know each other a little better. So put a big hello in the chat, and if you don't know how to type in the chat, then just hit the subscribe button. You have to be a subscriber to engage. So don't be afraid, don't be out there hiding, because 80-90% of success is showing up, right? One of those numbers. And 47% of statistics are made up on the fly, right? And I'm actually coming to you live from East Suburbia. I imagine some of you fine folks are probably tuning in from the west side. And to quote a famous Tony Stark line, he said, "Please, no gang signs." Now, remind me later, I'll tell you about the time I dressed up as Tony Stark to speak at a conference twice. Hey, is that a gang sign? Yeah, I guess it kind of is. Anyway, that was the gang sign that the guy was thrown up in the Humvee in the first Iron Man movie. That was the gang sign. No gang signs. All right. Anyways, also let me know in the chat, what are you looking forward to learning here specifically today? And you ask my team, they'll tell you specificity is a key pillar of communication. I can't communicate what you need to know without you being specific. And you can't learn from me without me being specific. So, even though we only have so much time together today, there's always the opportunity to hop on a quick 15-minute chat with me to get extra clear on your goals and your strategy. And I'll tell you more about that later, how you might schedule a call with yours truly. But I'm about to drop some serious knowledge on you guys today. But I need you to do something for me. Let's get the chat pumping with some action. The more action we get in the comments, the more reach we'll have, and the more people we can empower with this life-changing, career-accelerating message for Agile coaches and consultants. So let's create some comment storms together and ignite some fireworks in the chat. And as you're doing that, I'm going to ask you, are you ready for the grand reveal? I look like Tony Stark. Okay. Well, I had to look like Tony Stark to speak at that conference. Actually, technically I didn't, but it was fun no less. Today, we are diving into the magical world of, drumroll please, time, freedom, and flexibility by launching a wildly successful consulting business, all without you quitting your day job, or putting your financial stability or even your current team's performance in harm's way. Because I talk to a lot of you, and I know you care about the teams that you're coaching currently, and that's fine. By the end of this video, my hope is that you'll actually be armed with the secret sauce to building your dream consultancy and becoming the boss that you've always wanted to be, without putting any of that in danger. Right? So buckle up and let's get this party started. All right, cool. Good to see you, Maggie, Thomas, Asma, Renee. Welcome. So why are we talking about this particular topic today? Well, it's because I frequently chat with Agile coaches who are working in their careers more than on them. They've got their full-time gig or their contract roles, and it's like, you've got more to give than to just one organization. And you're over there dreaming of transitioning to your own consultancy business. Yet they appreciate the perceived security of their current roles, right? But they know something needs to change if they want to elevate your wealth, your freedom, and have true work-life balance. Not talk about that 40 hours a week stuff, 8 hours a day, and then you go home and you're dealing with life for the other 8, or at least several of those 8 hours, and then you're sleeping away the other 8. Like 1/3 of our day goes to making money, 1/3 of our day goes to spending that money, and then what we have left over, we sleep the other 8 hours. So, before working with me, many of my clients share that they're trying common solutions like working part-time, freelancing. They're taking certification courses in an effort to hopefully grow their income maybe a little. Or maybe they're squeezing in extra hours of work if they're being paid hourly. I know some of you working 60, 70, I've even heard 80 hours a week as Agile coaches for one organization on salary. They say repeating yourself over and over and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. But man, working 80 hours for one salary, it's got to be a sub-definition level of insanity, because it is grouped under there of like, you keep doing that to yourself. Stop doing that to yourself, But like, they fear losing their job security. We all have that fear if we are working a full-time role or even a contract role. Like, there's this fear of losing that security. And I know, because I've been there. And so these people, they're not sure how to juggle everything and figure out how to make a side gig truly profitable. And so if you're wondering how to transition smoothly, then today's training is perfect for you. We're going to focus on lightening your load and devoting just 2 hours a day to your side gig while still earning about twice your current income to create that safety net of stability. Right? So let's pump up this energy. Who's ready to learn how to smoothly transition from a full-time gig to a profitable consultancy and create a stable income safety net and take your wealth and work-life balance to unparalleled levels? Are you with me? Have you got this? Are you ready to roll? Yes, let's go. Good to see you, Annie. All right. Give me a loud and proud yes in the chat if you're ready to kick this off. Awesome. All right. Just had to make sure you're awake and paying attention, because I know it's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's 5 o'clock here in the Eastern time zone. Cool. So I deal with this challenge quite often, right? And the reason why the fear of losing your job security and the challenges of time management persist, even though you've probably tried various side gigs, is because you're not addressing the core issue, right? Which is creating a solid plan that maximizes each and every one of you, the time and income that you all have, so that you can have the freedom and flexibility that you've earned. You've worked hard for this. You've gotten to the level you've gotten in your career. That was no easy feat. You're earning the levels of income you're earning now. That was not a simple process, right? You worked for that. And to be honest, most ambitious Agile coaches like you, looking to grow their consultancy, typically go wrong in 2 ways, right? So What are those ways? Way one, you're, overloading yourself with too many commitments, right? You're trying to juggle either multiple side gigs or projects, or like extracurricular activities, and it's probably causing like burnout, stress, things of that nature. And so the downside of all this is that it negatively affects your overall performance and well-being, which is why you're still stuck, right? If something isn't working for you, there's a reason for it, right? Way number two, you're probably undervaluing your expertise. You're not charging your worth in your consultancy. It's like creating financial instability because you're not here, you're here. But I know you could be here. You probably know you can be here with the right strategy and the right plan and executing on that strategy. So you're already unstable. Even though it feels stable, it's not. You get let go. There's a lot of coaches' layoffs going on right now. You want to become recession proof? You can't just have one client anymore, right? So when you have this challenge, right, the downside is it still prevents you from achieving your desired financial freedom. And I've encountered this issue countless times, right? So uh, and it comes down to priority, right? You're not prioritizing your time effectively, leading to that constant feeling of overwhelm, and it ultimately hinders your progress. And you also focus on the wrong things, right? You're focusing on, for example, achieving stability in the short term, which prevents you from being bold, brave, confident in taking the necessary steps to truly embrace the freedom of being your own boss. I hear this from clients all the time. I don't know, I don't feel like I have the confidence to go out there and launch my own consultancy. Well, let me tell you a secret. Are you ready? Type an S in the chat if you want to hear the secret sauce, the secret of life, the secret of growing a consultancy, but most importantly, the secret to confidence. Okay. Looks like y'all are ready for this secret. Write this down. Confidence is not gained by waiting around for confidence to grow. Let me say that again. Confidence does not grow by waiting around for confidence to grow. You got to put yourself out there. You got to be bold. You got to take risks, calculated risks, but risks, right? And you all are here, like, this is a risk. Spending 30 minutes of your life that you'll never get back right here with me, learning how to go about this stuff, right? So that's step one, right? Confidence comes from finding the confidence, going out there, doing the things that will build that confidence, right? So let's backtrack a little bit. I talked about ineffective time prioritization. It's such a common trap, right? Many aspiring consultants fall into this trap, and it's something that I want to address, right? Because you see, when you don't prioritize your time wisely, you end up spreading yourself too thin, trying to, juggle a full-time job, personal life, and then throwing a budding consultancy on top of it, right? So this approach may seem like a practical way to keep all the balls in the air, but in reality, it often just leads to, like I said, burnout, feelings of overwhelm, and ultimately lack of progress in any area, right? I used to talk about this all the time. If you're building, like, multiple houses at the same time, brick by brick, there's only one of you. So you're spending a little bit of time here, you're spending a little bit of time here, you're spending a little bit of time here, right? Everything is, 2/3 slower, right? So you have to be strategic about this. You have to optimize your performance. One of the things that I teach my clients is mental performance optimization, because mindset is the underlying foundation of all of this. right? But you have to understand that you have a limited amount of time in each and every day, and you have to allocate that strategically to make the most significant impact on your goals, right? Every single person on humanity, that is the ultimate equalizer. We all have the same amount of time, 24 hours in a day. Make sense? Throw an M into the chat if it's making sense. So, if I think about all this, is like, instead of trying to do everything all at once, focus on the tasks that are going to move the needle the most in the consulting business, right? I talk about three things: revenue generating activity, non-revenue generating activity, and future revenue generating activity. Most people focus on the non-revenue generating activity, and then the stragglers focus on future revenue generating activity. But that's not guaranteed, right? You could work on all this stuff and thinking, yeah, it's gonna make me money in the future, but it might never materialize. The best thing to do that no one focuses on is the revenue generating activity, right? And of course, as far as goals, you have to have goals, right? You can't just say the sky's the limit, I'm not going to limit myself. You have to have goals. Otherwise, you have nothing to push for. And more importantly, no way to reverse engineer what is it going to take to be successful, right? What I teach my clients, how to reverse engineer your way to success, right? With key metrics and things of that nature, right? Simon Sinek, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. Actually, that might be someone else entirely, but that's the idea, is if you don't measure it, you can't manage it, right? So breaking down your goals into smaller, more manageable tasks and tackling them with intention and focus, but also make sure those tasks are only the needle moving tasks. Because by doing that, you'll not only create more time for your consultancy, but also ensure that you're working on tasks that genuinely contribute to your transition to being your own boss. Make sense? T in the chat if you are still tracking. Cool. All right. So remember, the journey to being a consultant is not about doing everything at once. It's about making conscious choices and prioritizing effectively, dedicating your time to activities that are truly going to make the difference in your business, right? And you may have to stop and think, what's the difference that's going to make the difference? Cool. So let's talk about that second one, focusing too much on short-term stability at the expense of embracing long-term freedom that comes with being your own boss. It's natural to be concerned about financial stability and job security, right? Especially when, you're considering a significant career transition. But that fear can hold you back, right, from taking the necessary steps to truly thrive as an independent consultant, right? When you're overly cautious and, focused on just maintaining your current stability, you hesitate. You hesitate to do what, though? Well, you hesitate to invest in yourself, to invest your time, your energy, your resources into your consultancy. And this mindset can hinder your growth. It limits your potential, and it keeps you stuck in the same place, right? I say it like this: hesitation is the thief of opportunity. The key to overcoming this particular challenge is to find a balance, right? Find a balance between making your current stability work for you, and then taking calculated risks to grow your consultancy, right? So this might mean reallocating some of your time and your resources, stepping out of your comfort zone, which you're going to have to do anyway if you want to grow your income, because there's no change. I say the comfort zone. Okay, you're going to hate me for saying this, but maybe I shouldn't say it. Should I say it? put a CZ in the chat if you want to hear what I have to say about the comfort zone, because it's not pretty. It's not pretty. Like, no one loves to hear this. And that's why you need someone fighting for you in your corner, right? Comfort zone is a breeding ground for mediocrity. Write that down. In fact, make it personal to you. Write on your notes, my comfort zone is a breeding ground for mediocrity. Look at that every day and see if that doesn't change your heart and empower you to become who you can truly be. You can truly be great. You can truly be, like, you deserve it. Everyone in the world is trying to shut you down. The world is against you. Fight back. This is a powerful tool for that. I want you to be powerful. Cool. All right. So, another crucial element is building strong support networks of, for example, mentors, peers, even friends and family who can offer their guidance and encouragement. But none of those people can give you the business acumen to grow that. Like, a mentor can if they've, helped other people do the same, right? But, most of your current mentors and peers and even family and friends have never gotten to the level that you want to be at, right? If they have, by all means, call them up, like, let them support you, right? But when they haven't, you want to surround yourself with other people. What kinds of people? People who've helped people get where you want to be, and people who are also trying to get there too. Because like I said, it's not easy. That doesn't mean it has to be complicated, right? The best way to scale a business is through simplicity. And we know, based on the Agile Manifesto, I should probably have it up here, simplicity, the art of optimizing the amount of work not done, is essential. Far too many consultants growing a consultancy are focusing on and doing work that does not need to be done. Cool. So by shifting your mindset and finding the right balance between stability and growth, I think you'll be better equipped to embrace the exciting journey of becoming a boss, your own boss, right? And unlocking all that freedom and flexibility that comes with it. Because it's not just, it's not just, how do I want to say this? It is exciting. When you create results for an organization, in creating results, period, tangible results has been some of the most fulfilling moments of my life. For example, helping clients win huge contracts. My heart melts into a puddle on the floor when I hear a result like, Scott, I did it, I closed the deal, got my first client. Awesome. Heartfelt, truly heartfelt. And, seeing the result of you, and here's the thing, your consultancy doesn't have to be an Agile consultancy. That's where I focus. That's my strong suit, is helping coaches build an Agile consultancy, but it doesn't have to be that, right? I've got a guy who, one of my clients is kind of doing something a little different, right? He's building a consultancy around just retrospectives and helping organizations become more agile just by starting with the retrospective. Like, whatever you want to do, you can do. And once you master the skills that I teach, right, you essentially can name your price. But it starts with that step-by-step plan to prioritize your time, create a stable foundation so you can smoothly transition your consultancy with ease, and start to build that confidence, right? Cool. The reason my clients succeed in transitioning to their own consultancy and maintain stability is because they learn how to effectively prioritize their time and create personalized solutions that work, right? You're creating that balance between time freedom, financial stability, and empowering you to confidently embrace becoming a consultant, right? So as I conclude today's training, was it valuable? Type a V in the chat if you found it valuable. Maggie's mind was blown. We've got some, that's a new one. Is that a dab emoji? Okay. I love it. Cool. Got some dabbing going on. It might be a little. I might have dated myself just now. But, I did that all through high school, so it's nothing new to me. All right. I want to extend a special invitation to just one of you who is determined to embrace the freedom of being your own boss and taking control of your time. So I'm offering this to just one of you. I'm calling it a 15-minute Kickstart Your Ultimate Boss Mode session. So to qualify for this complimentary opportunity, you must be driven. You must be driven to make a difference with a consultancy in a specific niche. You don't have to know what that niche is now. Like, I help clients get clear on that. But I want you to be a driven individual, someone who is willing to put effort into this, right? Ideally, you have sort of a vision around what the consultancy you want to be. It doesn't have to be a clear vision, but have some kind of vision that you can bring to me. And then be committed after our call to taking action around the goals that you may have, and whatever clarity I bring to you about what the next steps might be committed, right? So during our call, we'll collaborate to figure out like what one key action you can take immediately to start growing your consultancy, pinpoint a time management strategy if that's what you need, so that you can balance your current job and growing your consultancy. And we'll even outline the first step in the roadmap to transitioning from employee to thriving independent consultant without ever having to lose the job security that you find with a full-time gig, right? Because the way I teach, you can stack multiple clients, which creates resilience in your income and allows you to, and this is an artificial limit, but ideally you could have, like, for 4 clients, you could be making $480K a year, right? It doesn't have to be that. Your numbers should be more meaningful, more specific. But if you're eager to seize this opportunity and ignite your journey towards that ultimate boss mode, go ahead and type boss mode in the chat here, and I'll make sure that we reach out to you, get that ball rolling. So if you're interested in that 15-minute Kickstart Your Ultimate Boss Mode session, put boss mode in the chat, just in all caps, boss mode. Me or my team will reach out to you, make sure that we get you set up for that 15-minute call. It's just a quick phone call, and pretty much you lead it, and then we give value. Okay? All right. I don't know. There's too much dabbing going on in the chat. I might have to end this prematurely. No, we're kind of over time anyway, so. Okay, cool. All right, and if you have any questions, go ahead and throw those questions, not in the chat here, but find me on LinkedIn, and we'll continue the conversation. Okay, that is it. I am going to run, but I really enjoyed the session. I'm 4 minutes late for my admin. We have a meeting. We're going to talk about how we bring more impact to you. So have a good one, and stay cool.